Welcome back to Witch Wednesdays and another day of Vlogmas. And today I am going to go ahead and talk about my planner lineup for 2024. That's right, lineup, because I do have 4. That is absolutely overkill. You do not need 4 planners. Nobody needs 4 planners, but yet I have them. So I thought I would show you those and just chat a little bit about how I'm going to be using them in the upcoming year. It might seem a little bit early to start thinking about planners since it's only the beginning of December, but like the Llewellyn Almanacs I'm about to show you, some of these planners have been out since summer. So there are a lot of options out there. Those are still available on Amazon, as are many other planners, so you have a lot of options still. So I thought I'd share these early in the month just in case you need inspiration. You're still looking around for what you want to do for yourself for 2024. I just wanted to get these out earlier so you can set yourself up for success. I love a good paper planner. I have always had paper planners. They are so much fun to me. I do use them, but I also fall into that trap of productive procrastination and the illusion of productivity that can be very common with buying planners, also with organization bins, with workout gear. A lot of people will buy things and think that they are starting and doing something new and different and starting out on a new goal, when really they are just buying supplies, and it gives you that illusion that you are doing something, but until you take that next step and actually do something with those items that you bought, you haven't actually accomplished anything. I fall into that trap all of the time. But at least with the planners, I do know that I use them. I like to order them early. I like to have them on hand, and then I get started with them in December because I want to get set up before January actually starts. So by doing it in the beginning of the month, then I have time to actually look ahead and plan out my year and sort of plan out my goals and plans accordingly. I did the video on birthday magic and getting the solar return reading that will dictate a lot of the goals and energy that I have going into 2024. But I also have to consider my goals in relation to what are the big events going on in the year. I don't really have too many big things going on in 2024, whereas on the other hand, my friend is expecting a baby in April. So there's no goal setting for that. There's, getting the nursery ready and sort of preparing for that, but there's no goal setting with a baby. Baby's gonna tell you what's going on in the second half of the year. So there's really nothing else that she can goal plan in her life. As far as any other areas of her life, she can kind of give that thought, but newborns really dictate what is going to happen, and you never know what your life is going to look like then. So that is important for her to know and note on her planner and be like, okay, listen, I gotta work on these couple of baby things, and then the second half of the year, I'm not planning on any goals. I'm not bettering other areas of my life because I have no idea what's going to be happening then. Whereas for me, I don't have a big life event like that. I don't have a wedding or graduation, new job, new raise or promotion I'm going for, not doing any big moves. Those are all things that should be factored in to your goal planning, because those take up a lot of time and mental energy that you might not have to then spend on other goals in other areas of your life. By setting up my planners now, I am better able to determine how much time and energy I'm going to have to work on other things and what I would need to prioritize. I'm going to have a whole planning video coming up of showing all of my goals and how I set up a day to plan all of that and what my actual goals are going to be. But one of those is going to be spending less, or no spend here, because looking ahead on my calendar, we want to go to Disney and Universal in Florida in spring of 2025. And as anyone who has gone to those parks in recent years, or really ever, it is so expensive. That is such an expensive vacation to take. So we are planning ahead for that, and I want to spend less in this year, so I have more money in the beginning of 2025 to put towards that. And if I only started working on that in January 2025, that would only give me 3 or 4 months to save money, which I don't think would be enough. So by planning for that now, I can set that as a goal for 2024 and then be ready to take that vacation. I am also going to set some sort of health related goal in 2024. Again, haven't quite figured that out. That will be coming, but it is going to have something to do with health and stamina, because those theme parks are so much walking and it's so much being on your feet, and I don't want to slow the trip down or have to take lots of breaks, be oh, my feet hurt, oh, I have to sit. So there is a big health aspect that is going to be part of my goal planning for 2024 as well, which is directly in line with what my solar return reading said about that sun being in the 6th house. It's all about lifestyle changes and health, daily routines going into this next year. So let me tell you the 4 that I have, and then we will do close-ups, and I'll like flip through so you can see what they actually look like on the inside. The first up, I have a novel companion ultra by Little Inklings Design. So if you've seen the Always Fully Booked planners, this is the same company. And this is mostly going to be a reading planner, but it does have like the daily planner pages in there. So I'll do a flip through of that. I have 2 Llewellyn almanacs. They have a ton of like different versions for 2024, so you can get one geared more towards like your practice or what you want to do. Like there's an herbal one that is specific, so this is sort of like a general like magical almanac that has more like articles and things in it, and then this one is the spell a day. So I picked up both of these. And lastly, on a whim, I also decided to get the 2024 version of the Year of the Witch planner by Temperance Alden. As you can see, it's a nice like pocket size, and I did have this one this year to use, and I was like, you know what, I want this one again. So let's head over to my desk and I will do a flip through of these so you can see exactly what they look like and why I chose them. First up here is the Novel Companion Ultra. So this is from Little Inklings, and I will have the shop linked down below. She does dated planners. She just released undated planners this year, and then she has this, which is obviously the Novel Companion Ultra. That's more of I'll show you the pages, but it's more of a reading tracker than planner focused. So she offers a lot of different options. I have no idea what's still on sale because I know her dated planners sell out quickly. Obviously the undated you could start whenever you want, and these come in and out of stock all the time because you can start them whenever, obviously also undated. And the reason I went with this one is because it tracks 200 books, and her undated ones and dated planners only track 120. 120 is an absolutely respectable amount of books to read in a year. That is 10 books a month. That's a lot. However, I have read 365 books this year, so I knew even with like sort of my goals and plans for reading next year that I was going to probably do more than 120, and I just wanted to have the option, the space. And I also know myself that I need less sort of like day-to-day planner space. That's not as important to me as like the reading tracking part. So let's check out the inside of this. First up, it comes with goals. It is all in black and white, but you will see some of the pages like I already colored them in as I was like going through it and just playing around with it. I wanted to play around with my colored pencils, so that is what I did. But it's got your important info, most anticipated books, a legend if you're going to sort of set things up for yourself, the goals, which I have not filled out yet, but absolutely will, and the reading log here. And like I said, it is for 200 books. We've got the haul page and then the library page. So again, this all came in black and white, but I colored it in for fun already. And then as I read, I can fill in the spines with the book titles. And then it's got the 5-star reads, the little indicators to show how you read them, whether it was audiobook or regular physical book or ebook. It has this page, there's 12 of them, so it could be, you know, your favorites of the month, or if you are doing like a book club, the book club picks for that month. The series tracker. And then there are some challenges pages. So the A to Z challenge, the fully booked reading challenge that is unique to the Little Inklings designs. And this just has some like an autobiography or memoir, a fairy tale, myth or retelling, a standalone book, all kinds of different options there. The on the cover reading challenge based on what's on the cover of the book, genre reading challenge, reading rainbow challenge, so something that is the cover is mostly that color. Through the ages challenge, around the world reading challenge, and then this was another page that I already colored in. And here is another reading goal tracker, so you can write your goal here and then cross them off as you finish, and this page actually goes up to 220. It's got the monthly reading stats page, but again, this is blank, so you would fill in your own month, start it whenever you want. And then you can create your own reading stats page here of what you would like to track. So they have genres, book format, star rating, battle of the books. So again, in this first round, there's 12 spots, so you could definitely do your top book of each month and then do the battle until you come down to a winner, which is just something fun to do at the end of the year. This is a completely blank page to make however you like. And there are a bunch of blank pages here, and then you get into the month overview. I already filled out the dates and the month title myself, but you've got the month overview here, the books to read, and the new releases. And then these are what the planner pages look like. So I've already dated them at the top and filled in all of the little numbers there, but you get the whole week, Monday through Sunday, and then these are just blank areas to use as you see fit. And then the same when you get into the next month. So after you get to the end here, then you get into full ratings pages where you can fill out all of the information similar to how it looks on Goodreads. Fill out the title, author, when you start and finished it, publication date, any of your thoughts. You could write in the book title here, or you could print off the little book covers and paste those in. So lots of pages for that until you get to the very end where there are a couple of lined pages, and that's it. So I'm looking forward to that since I read so much. I don't always love Goodreads, and I find that it's kind of glitchy and doesn't always have the information that I want to keep track of. So I think this is going to be fun and give me a better idea of my reading stats. I think what you can track in here is similar to Storygraph, but again, there's just something about being able to handwrite it that I enjoy. And then we have my Witchy planner stack. So as I have said, I've got the 2 almanacs. This is the 2024 one, and then this is the spell a day. So the 2024 almanac is laid out in this way that it's got a bunch of different sort of articles. I mean, they do have recipes, but tons of different topics in each one. They're different every year. So when I flipped through this one, I was like, I think I like a lot of the information that's in here, so I really wanted this. And then in the middle part, you get the actual almanac. And it gives you information about the year as a whole, and then it goes month by month. And then you get into the calendar that looks like this. So it's just very quick, the days you have, if there's any holiday on that day, what the moon phase is, the color of the day, what moon sign it's in, and the incense of the day. And then you get right back into more of the different articles. And every year these change and they all have good information, but there was just something like this year. First of all, I love the fox on the cover. My dog looks like a fox, so I'm drawn to anything fox. But in general, when I was flipping through this, I was like, oh yeah, I think I like a lot of the information that's in here, and a lot of the subjects are particular to things that I do, so I was a fan of that. But then I also decided to pick up the Spell a Day Almanac. So a lot of the daily information, so if you are looking at the moon phases and the color of the day, incense of the day, those are going to match in here. Both are going to have that information. So if that's the most important thing to you, you really only need one of these. But this, rather than having the different articles like that, is set up in this format where you have each day, and like I said, you have the moon phase and what sign the moon is in, and then the color and the incense, and then each day has a quick spell. Most of these are incredibly simple and don't need any tools or ingredients, which is very nice. And then the ones that do require tools and ingredients are things that are very simple and easy to find. Like for example, this one on October 1st, you need a white candle, candle holder, red rose, and salt. That's pretty basic. But I just decided that I really wanted to go through day by day and have like a space to check in and just be more mindful of the energies of that day. And although this has a lot of that information, I feel like I'm more likely to check in with this one on a daily basis since it does have all of those spells, and it would be fun to not necessarily do every single one of them. I think there are a few in here that I just wouldn't be interested in, but to have the option is nice and just sort of know kind of what's going on with that day. If I want to do a spell, here's a great option for it. Here's what matches the energy of the day. So I decided to get both of them. And then also on a whim, I picked up the New Year of the Witch planner by Temperance Alden. I had one for this past year too. This is just like a little pocket planner. And although for most of my planning, reading, to-do lists, that's all going to be in that reading planner that you saw, this is a nice way to take quick notes or jot down any spells or anything that I'm doing and just want to make quick notes on before I transfer them into my grimoire or somewhere more permanent, because this is so small and easy to carry around. So there is a pocket at the front and the back. And then you get into how to use this planner, which is all about making your own wheel of the year. So even if whether you do or do not celebrate the Sabbats, that can be part of it, but it's also setting things up how they work for you. So if there's other important dates and anniversaries, your birthday is a particularly powerful day, if there's any other big holidays that you celebrate, and just being aware of the seasonal changes around you. Here in Chicago, they do line up pretty well with what the Sabbats say is going on, except Imbolc. I don't really see signs of spring here yet on February 1st in Chicago. It's still heavily winter. But other than that, when it transitions to the spring equinox, autumnal equinox, those tend to line up, and we do have distinct 4 seasons here, but I know a lot of places do not. So if you are someplace, I think Temperance Alden lives in Florida. So if you are someplace similar and you don't have those seasons, then she mentions her season sort of being marked by things like hurricanes and preparation for that, and just noting those things in your own like wheel of the year and creating a setup that is distinct to you. And so it's got these pages here in order for you to do that. So it's got all of the months, and you can write down your important dates and seasonal changes. And then it does have the full list of all of the traditional seasonal and cultural holidays. This one actually starts in December, so you do get this month to be able to start writing things down and get prepared. So it starts with this month overview, and then it goes into these pages, and that is how much space that you have to write for each day. So if you have a lot going on in your day and a lot to keep track of, this is probably not the space for it. But if you are just noting down a few things, I will probably use this particularly for content scheduling and scheduling out podcast episodes, YouTube videos, things like that, because it is, you know, a smaller space to work with. And then we get into the next month, and then after that, December, each month will include this little page before that has a ritual or recipe. So this one obviously has the New Year ritual to get you ready for January. And then that month looks the same. And then again, at the end of the month, you get a little notes page, and then it flips into the spell or ritual for the next month. So this one is for Imbolc, and you have a seed awakening craft. And I know in this one in the beginning in particular, she mentions that these build on each other. So this seed awakening craft, these seeds that you're doing here, will be used in the rituals that come up in the later months. So that's something unique that she is doing this year. And I thought that that was a fun touch. And it goes all the way into December. You get some notes pages at the end, and then you get the January of 2025. So you can start planning ahead for that. and then just some blank pages at the end. Get the contacts page, and then at the very back you have these habit tracker pages. So there's one for each month, and then they have circles for each day. So you can track a particular habit each month. And then it has the 2025 at the glance, and then another pocket, and that's it. So it's a very small option, but if that's all you need, that could be really great. And like I said, this will be sort of dedicated, smaller witchcraft things, content planning, and then most of my daily tasks and to-do list and bigger things are going to be in that other reading planner. I am excited to get into these. I'm going to show a little bit during my planning day and my goals, but I am going to sit down and do, first of all, a planning exercise to determine what I need to do in a day, what I want to do in a day, making sure that there is some sort of witchcraft and something that's making me happy in each day. That'll be part of my planning process. And I'm going to do a calendar spell, which involves some candles, some herbs, and blessing my calendar for the new year. So that will be coming up in like the part 2 planning day process of this video, where I specifically list out what my goals are going to be for 2024. If you already have some of your goal ideas, I would love to know, because I haven't quite decided yet. I have like the general areas and what I'm sort of thinking, but I haven't finalized those yet. So I'm always looking for ideas. If you have any, you plan out your year or plan in advance what you're going to be doing and are ready for January 1st, do let me know in the comments. I kind of want to know what everybody is working on. And those are all my planners. Like I said, it's excessive. You don't need 4 planners. Nobody needs 4 planners. So don't feel like you have to go out and buy them. I just wanted to show you what I'm working with and some of the options and how I am planning on working with them in the next year. But again, like, things can always change, so we will see what I stick to. I will absolutely have videos on that next year. That's everything for this Vlogmas. I will see you tomorrow.